Inside I heard the trumpets call, a salute to the champions on the wall. And in the jazz of squalls and in passion brawls she danced.
So let's cut back over to Miranda. Miranda, you're in the Uber, and you just there's tears rolling down your face, and you still got the handle of your sword, but there's of course no blade attached to it. And at some point, you notice that Gabriel Beaumont has taken his jacket with the patches on the elbow and has put it over your shoulder. And he's got his arm around you, and you kind of somewhere at the end of a tunnel hear him talking to the Uber driver, and then the Uber stops. You get out, and he walks up to this beautiful wooden door, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out, looks for all intents and purposes to be like a key from the 1800s, and he puts it in the lock and turns it, and then he reaches up and does something up here, and the door swings in, and it's the LaLaurie mansion, because remember that's his house.
Right.
And you walk inside, and he says, "Do you want something to drink? Tea? Beer? Wait, no. Tea? Coffee?" He immediately catches himself remembering that you're a recovering alcoholic. And so he says, okay, I'll be right back. And so he leaves you in the foyer and heads straight down to the kitchen. What are you going to do? The place is kind of dark, and there is a very gloomy aspect to it. It's not a happy place at all. Not the happiest place at all.
What does he have in like this?
Well, it's a hallway that goes straight back into the kitchen. There's a stair that goes up, and then off to the left, there's what looks like maybe a living room or a sitting room. Beautiful antique furniture, most of it leather. There's a fainting couch. There's these beautiful bookshelves. That's where he sat and drank with you two, actually. Mm-hmm. There's a nice little, end table. Looks like there's a little wet bar over to the side where there's several crystal decanters of brownish and whitish liquids, and several glasses. But yeah,
I'm gonna go pour a drink.
All right, you grab a glass, pour it up. He comes walking in a couple of minutes with a cup of tea, and it's steamy. And he goes, "Oh, okay. Are you sure that's wise?"
Nope. And I shoot it.
Okay. He says, "Well, okay. Well, I'll bring you the tea anyway." And so I guess you sit down on the couch.
Yeah.
And he brings you the tea, puts on a little end table, goes over and pours himself a drink, and then refills yours. Yeah. And comes over and sits by you, and he says, "Wow, your sword is not the first sword of the cross to be broken. It's happened before, and they've been reforged. So I don't want you to feel like this is the end of your time as a Knight of the Cross." He says, "So take heart." Okay, now you guys have finished this. Your Code Duello. You probably grabbed a taxi or something like that.
But do we even know where he's going?
Yeah,
I guess we could figure maybe.
I mean,
we could figure that.
You guys have been there before. I mean, for sure.
Okay.
Unless you took her to a hotel room, which doesn't seem like his MO. It doesn't seem like his MO. Yeah. So you're sitting there, and he says, "I have a theory about why this is happening, and it has nothing to do with the White Court vampires or anything. I think someone is moving against the church. That's the only reason they would go after a Knight of the Cross."
I don't know if this has anything to do with any outside forces at all, if I'm being honest. It might just be me. I kind of take the handle of the sword and I just sit it down on the couch. I was like, I didn't even know they could shatter.
He says only when they're used in the opposite way that they're intended. The sword of the cross that I wielded, that I had, Amoroclus, was the sword of love, and if it's wielded in hate, it can be shattered. Yours was the sword, was similar to its sister sword, the one that is the sword of hope, and so only in despair it can be broken, which means that whoever gave you that gift knew exactly what was necessary to break that sword. So they were after you specifically. Yeah. And they know enough about Swords of the Cross to know what to do to break them. But again, all's not lost. I mean...
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's better if somebody stronger, wields it anyway, you know?
He says, well, maybe. But maybe your time with the sword is just at an end. I mean, we have lots of people who are Knights of the Cross who don't carry swords.
You said you used to carry one, so you don't anymore?
No, there was an attack about 10 years ago on the St. Louis Cathedral by the Blackened Denarians, the demons of the coins. And their leader showed up, and I was given a Moroclus, Excalibur, to use. This was long before Michael Carpenter got the sword. And I defeated their leader, but I didn't use the sword.
Oh.
So I never drew it. And then I gave it back to the church. And again, over the years, many people have been given the swords for only short periods of time and then, turn them back over to the church. And so he picks up the hilt and he kind of lays it on the, the end table, and he says, I'll make sure the church gets this. Who knows? Maybe it can be reforged, or if nothing else, the church will know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So, about that time, there's a knock on the door, and Gabriel kind of goes, well, that's odd. Most people leave this alone, especially since I told the tour guides that I don't want them standing outside my door anymore telling stories. And so he goes over and he kind of opens the door, and it's you guys, okay? And he says, oh, come in. We're in the living room. Yeah.
I'm not there.
You're not there. Where are you going?
I'm going back to Anne-Marie's place.
Right. Yeah, okay. I'll handle that in a minute. Good question. All right, so it's you guys, not Darwin. And so he ushers you into there, and you see Miranda sitting on the couch, and she looks a good bit worse for wear. There's glasses of looks like bourbon or whiskey or something like that sitting around everybody, and it looks like she's already had one. Looks like she's already had one, so you're kind of like,
I'm imagining she's not handling it well.
No, I expect not.
I love that game.
Yeah. And so he says, well, come in, have a seat. Drinks?
Heck yeah.
Yes.
He walks over to the crystal decanter and pours you brought your own.
Exactly.
He hands glasses around to everybody, and they're these nice little crystal glasses and stuff like that. And, you probably pop corks, untwist screws, and kind of sit in these nice... They're definitely antique. Just by the way they've got, some of them are kind of like that velvet velour like you've seen back in, the 1800s, 1900s, and they all have those spindly kind of cloth wooden feet. And so, yeah, he says, have a seat. We were just talking about the fact that I think this is a move against the church. That's the only reason I can figure someone would target Miranda specifically and know exactly what was necessary to break her sword.
But I got this box, and I'm not going to open it. Because when I saw it happen to Miranda,
well, then,
I was afraid something would happen.
Why don't you check it with your abilities as a wizard?
Well, I had other things to do at the time.
Well,
but
sure.
I'm just saying that I got this, and he got something.
Well, you're safe now. Why don't you check them out?
Yeah.
I mean, this
right.
place is pretty
Miranda
safe.
gets visibly nervous when you say you're going to open the box. And she's like,
Yeah. No, you know what yours is.
Another room?
Yeah, that's trombone.
Yeah. Do you want to open your wizard side or go to another room, or what are you thinking?
Well, I'll go.
just be careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You do your wizard side?
I'm putting gloves on.
Okay.
Opening my wizard sight.
I can't even remember how we do this anymore. Okay. Is it a lore check to understand what you say and then discipline to close? That's right. All right. So give me a lore check. Now, you have not opened the box or anything like that.
5.
Okay. The box you're looking at, your box, does not look like there's anything going on with it. The only thing you can really tell about it is there's a significant amount of emotion attached to whatever's in the box.
Inside.
Yeah. Okay. It doesn't look like a spell, though. Okay, I mean, what she had, it was definitely a spell. It was specifically targeted at her. You look at his trombone case. It looks really, really old. Well, you don't have to roll again. It looks really, really old, but you don't see any spells on it at all. It looks just like a trombone. Again, this looks like it was aimed specifically at her. When you look around the room, oh my gosh, you can see the dark shadows of twisted.
Mansion.
Yeah, oh yeah, you are. The dark shadows of the
I was waiting
twisted,
for this.
the twisted bodies. When you look up at the ceiling, it's like blood's pouring down the walls. It's a discipline check now to try and close it, and this is intense.
We were worried about the box. And
Yeah,
we were like,
remember,
Oh yeah.
anything you
This is
see with your wizard sight, you can't forget. Okay.
So like, I'm looking at the box, I look at the trombone, I look up, and I'm like,
yeah, and you go deathly pale, and everybody goes, "Oh my gosh!" Everybody sees it, and both you
by the
tag.
box,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah, so make your discipline check.
I'm afraid.
Just think of like Eddie
What'd you
Murphy
get?
from like Daddy Daycare.
5.
Okay, that's what you needed was a 5. So you're able to close your third eye, and everything kind of drops out of sight, and
what
you're
happened?
like,
Why did I forget I was in the Lori Mansion?
and he goes.
Why was I not
Gabriel
in
says,
bed? I'm in the Lori Mansion.
we maybe should have. Well, no, the kitchen's not any
You
better.
said we were safe.
We are safe. I just forgot that wizards and their eyes are. It's a very intense experience.
I should have thought.
Yeah, I'm not a wizard. I forget these things. He says, I'm just a.
I'm going
humble
to have
man of the
nightmares
cross.
For years.
Yeah. Yeah, but the trombone looks normal. The box
does,
you had.
Does anything
So it's
happen
got
to
a
me
cool trombone,
permanently
huh?
for all that?
No.
Okay.
No. Remember, you can take. If you had missed your roll, you could have taken a stressed attack, but a mental stress attack, which might not be really good right now.
I still feel very stressed,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm
You gonna open the box?
intrigued by the box. But
What's
I'm
in the
afraid it's gonna be something to do
Still
with Terrence, or maybe they've done something to someone I know that is gonna upset me.
You want to? It's got a little nice little red bow on it.
You know what? I'll have a couple more quick drinks,
Mm-hmm.
so I won't care as much.
Sure. That's a
Funny thing.
Makes you not
You
care.
don't remember when Gabriel Beaumont brought the crystal decanter over there, but all of a sudden the crystal decanter is up on the table.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Ghosts. Spooky.
Very haunted mansion.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you
What are you doing? Why are you rolling?
I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be.
You're just gonna open the box. Are you opening the box?
What's
Harry or something.
What's the box?
It falls down the ground and nothing happens.
Yeah, if you drop it on the ground. Yeah.
You hear it
Whoever
shattering
tied that red
inside.
bow.
Yeah. Really nice. You just can't bring yourself to break it open. Yeah. No, you
You
can
know
open
what
it.
it is? It's because I saw that and I'm just really afraid of what's in this box.
Say
You
All
open it.
right.
All right, you pull the ribbon, comes undone. Open the box. You kind of lift it up and drops open. There's like a little, white tissue paper in there. There's a nose ring.
I don't understand.
It's got blood on it.
Think about your student.
It's a nose ring. It's got blood on it. It's
Does
still
it look
little
like
crusted up blood.
Carla's?
You have no idea. You gonna call her? You got her number.
Somebody call her. I can't call her because I'll mess up my phone.
Well, you got your Nokia. Oh yeah, you're way too amped up
I'm
now.
too late.
Somebody else has got to
So,
call her.
Okay, someone go across the
I'll go
room
across the room
and call Carla.
You're gonna call out the number to him?
Yeah.
I'm sure you know it. Okay. All right. Who's gonna call?
I'll call.
Okay. Ring, ring, ring,
All right.
Nanophone.
You call.
ring. Goes to voicemail.
You call
Hi, this is
Muriel.
Carla. I can't come to the phone right now. Would you please leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Hey, this is Bunk. Friend. You remember me, Bunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like I'm having some. Give me a call. Give me a call as soon as you can. We're a little worried about you, so give us a call.
All right. You leave a message. Yeah. No answer.
I'll call Muriel's. She instructed me to call Muriel's.
Okay. You call Muriel's and ask them. Is Carla?
Oh, is Carla in?
Yeah, she's on the front desk, maitre d'. Let me go get her real quick. Who is this? Is it an emergency? She's kind of busy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's emergency. It's,
Okay. Hold on.
Bella's calling for her.
Hold on, just a second. minutes goes by, and all of a sudden, on the phone, hi, this is Carla. What's up? Who's this?
Della was just making sure you're okay. There's been some stuff going on tonight.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm working. Yeah, I'm just on front desk. I'm actually front of house tonight. So yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
You haven't seen
Be
her.
alone.
Don't be alone. Be careful.
Yeah, just be careful tonight.
Okay. Well, Carl's working. I'll make sure he walks me home. Anything in particular I should look for? I'm getting pretty good at this magic stuff. I could probably handle it anyway. Maybe not yet.
Yeah, keep with that magic.
Okay. You got a pistol? Yeah, you got a gun? Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, just be careful. Have a good night.
Okay, sure will. All right. Yeah, I'm working until 10 o'clock, so, well, I'm sorry. It's midnight, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just cleaning up, getting ready to close down for the night, so I'll make sure Carl walks me
So
home.
it just has emotion. It was emotion in there.
Well, if it was removed from someone and they were really upset or it hurt them.
The
Who else
only
do you
other
know?
person I could think of. I know Miss Clara does not have a nose ring.
No, she does not.
Would my sister have a nose ring?
You have another apprentice, sweetheart.
The only one I remember was
two.
Carla.
The other little
Hera.
girl.
Oh.
The little 14-year-old
She's so
girl,
young.
12-year-old girl, whatever. Yeah, I think she's 12 or 13 or something like that. She's
I
little.
forgot about her.
Oh crap!
Yeah, where did we put her?
She's in a
She's
foster
in
home.
a foster home.
Oh,
but,
that's
you
a
know.
terrible place.
No, it's a nice foster home arranged through the church. They're actually
Oh.
very understanding of magical, and they've been allowing her to train with
Never
Della.
mind.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
they're actually very nice foster home.
Like, wait, why do we do that?
Deacon Fontainebleau arranged all of this. Yes, yeah, no, he's on. Yeah.
I'm gonna say to Beaumont, would you call the foster home?
Sure, absolutely. He reaches over, grabs the phone, kind of walks across the room. It's one of those cordless handsets. And he kind of goes,
Terrible to hurt a kid.
I've heard her before.
Hi, this is Gabriel Beaumont. You may have known me from the St. Louis Cathedral. Right. Is Hera home? She's not. Okay. Do you know where she is? Spending the night at a friend's house. Right. Is there any way you can call the house and find out if she's there? Sure. Give me a call back at this number. And he kind of rattles off the number real quick and then hangs up. And he looks a little nervous, because, this sounds very definitely like it. A couple minutes goes by. It seems like 3 hours.
Yes.
It's probably been 15. And
Hours or minutes?
15
Hours.
minutes, yeah. Hours, yeah.
Hours?
Yeah.
We're all passed out.
Phone rings again, and he grabs the handset, walks across the room away from you, and says, "Right, okay. You need to call the police and get them over there as soon as possible. Right? No, call the police and get them up. No, call the police. Specifically, ask for Brian Johnson. Right, Brian Johnson. He may be I think he's a captain. He knows what's going on. Call Captain Brian Johnson. Make sure he knows. Here's his number. Okay. And he hangs up. He says, yeah, Hera is supposedly spending the night at a friend's house. They haven't been able to get anybody on the phone over at the friend's house. I told them to contact Brian Johnson. Other than that, I guess we just sit tight and wait.
Oh. It may not be their fault, but I still in my heart blame the Devanese.
Do you think this is related to this?
Mm-hmm.
She was placed with a church family?
Could be.
Mm.
Could be.
So, historic enemies of the church. What are we talking about?
The Black
Satan.
Denarians.
Oh.
No, well, it's Satan, yes.
I mean, Satan.
Well, the Black and Denarians are the ones, anybody who is a Satanist or anti-church, something like that. But the Black and Denarians, remember, were the demons that were put into the 30 pieces of silver that were used to purchase, or that were given to Judas to purchase his information about Jesus. Each of the coins carries a demon. And if you touch the coin, the demon gets in your head. People who carry these coins are super, super powerful The church was supposed to be has some of the coins in their possessions. If you remember, when you had taken the Staff of Solomon down there, Deacon Fontainebleau had told you that they had like 4 or 5 of the coins back down there in the reliquary down there, and they kept them under lock and key. And because of the holy relics that were around them, they were kind of masked. Because the church is having trouble holding on to some of the coins, because it seems like there's somebody in the church who they get the coins, and then somebody gets these coins and gives them back to the denarians so they can make more people. So yeah,
that was my introduction to the supernatural world, actually.
So yeah, icky stuff there. Yep.
Should we go over? Can we find the house? Beaumont, can we find the house?
Deacon Beaumont. No, sorry. Gabriel Beaumont could probably tell you the foster family's address and stuff like that. Yeah, he probably knows it. He's got pretty deep connections to the local church.
Trombone?
Trombone seemed fine. Yeah.
I got a cool trombone.
Yeah.
Sweet.
He's not associated with the church. In fact, fairies are
Well,
kind of
neither are we.
fairies are kind of anti-church, So yeah.
So,
Well, but if they know about your financial stuff, they're not coming after you. They're just letting you know, I know what you know, so we know that you know, and so you better, that's a holding pattern right there.
It doesn't help if I don't know who it comes from.
Yeah, right,
it's
right,
like, I don't
right.
know. Like,
So can I go?
We gotta talk to the
By the way, Anastasia has headed home.
Okay. I made sure to say she's gonna be good. And
Yeah, she's
should we
okay.
take out
No.
Lauren right now? She's weak, or just leave her to recover?
Do what? Oh no, she's not associated with her. Anastasia's, that's
No, I
one.
meant like, should we kill her because anti-scabies?
Anastasia would probably tell you no. Leave her alive. It's probably a better idea to just let her, know that she's been defeated in front of everyone. That's going to be a big deal. Now you headed over to Anne Marie's, right? We're going
Yes.
to cut over to Darwin real quick. I assume you're going home with her to make sure she gets home safe.
Yes.
Okay.
Because she is visibly shaken from her.
Call
picture.
a taxi. She heads home. She lives in kind of a nicer area of. It's kind of near Frenchman Street, but it's a nicer, bigger home. When you get there, it's all dark, of course, because it is like 12:30 in the evening.
Yes.
And she gets out of the taxi and she looks pretty upset. She goes, "Darwin, would you come inside with me so I can check on the house?"
Absolutely.
She walks up to the door, pulls out her key, unlocks the door, steps inside. It's not a big house, kind of small, but it's very nice. And old, very, very old. When you step inside, you can feel yourself crossing. She invites you inside so you can cross the threshold. Very nice. You notice that the kitchen table has all kinds of stuff on it. Looks like thaumaturgical stuff like that, where she's probably been prepping things for the storm.
Can relate.
And she kind of walks through the house, looking around. It's got a second story. She walks upstairs, looks in all the rooms. There's like looks like a library on the second floor with a bunch of books. Most of them are kind of magical oriented. There's a bedroom, and then there's another bedroom, and she looks around and she says, "I think everything's okay. I will contact my granddaughter in the morning and see if I can get her to move somewhere safer. Obviously someone knows about her." And then she looks over to you and she says, "Thank you so much for making sure I was safe tonight." And she's kind of walking you down the stairs, and then she reaches over and she kisses you on the cheek and she says, "I really appreciate this. And if I need any help with anything else, I will definitely call on you." And she smiles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then, she walks you to the door and closes the door and everything. Yeah. You are going to...
That's a good question from this point.
Well, they probably told you they were going to Gabriel Belmont's.
Yeah, I'll probably head that way after this.
You get to the... Trying to think. You guys probably Ubered over there or taxied over there or something. You get there about the time they're probably coming out of the front door and Gabriel Belmont is locking up. And what are you guys going to tell him? You guys are heading out the door. Gabriel Beaumont's locking up because you're going to go check out the foster family's home, right? And they're getting ready to leave, and you kind of come rolling up in a taxi or an Uber or something, probably a taxi.
It's everyone?
Yeah, it's all of them. Yeah, and Miranda, I think, is going okay, yes. And Gabriel's still with you guys. So,
How are we doing?
And Swift.
Oh, mascara down the face, reeking of alcohol.
Yeah, she's got a bottle with her. Yeah.
Ripped off a couple of the accoutrements from the Joan of Arc situation.
Yeah.
Mask just pushed up in the hair like a headband,
Yeah.
and drunkenly like, Darwin! Sup?
Oh no.
Let's go, Vince. Let's go cook.
You gotta go save a kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Save the kid.
Kara,
What's
the
wrong with her?
girl.
She's missing. Yeah.
Oh,
He has no
there's,
clue.
Do you
there's-
have, like, a
there's a
nose
nose ring in the box.
it's like a
And the
regular
nose
ass
ring-
sword
The
laying
nose ring
around.
came from Tara.
Yeah, actually, Gabriel says, well, actually, I do. And the funny thing he does, he reaches over into the little umbrella stand beside the door and pulls out this sword. And it's just kind of a straight sword. It looks kind of Chinese. And he says, he kind of flexes the blade. It's a nice Chinese sword. He slaps it back into the scabbard and hands it to you. He says, consider it a gift. You're like,
Dope.
who keeps swords in the umbrella stand? If I had an umbrella stand, that's where
So
mine
it's
would
like,
be.
no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if I had an umbrella stand, all of those would be sitting in this right by the door. Yeah,
And this one got rocks too.
yeah. It's a nice sword.
Somebody
Yeah,
just said they wanted a Christmas gift.
yeah.
Umbrella stand.
Yeah. Are you gonna look at the sword?
Yeah.
Give me a weapons check.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
you're looking at weapons to see if you, because you probably know a good bit about weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, it'd be craftsmanship probably,
Yeah.
Oh,
wouldn't it?
weapons
Let's go with
is,
weapons.
I
Yeah,
did it anyway.
it's a
What'd you get?
nil.
a nil. Yeah, but what's your weapons score? Skill.
Oh, my weapon score is +5.
All right. You look at this sword, and it's got this little, mark from the blacksmith or the weaponsmith's mark. You can look at it, and you probably show it to Darwin, and Darwin, you look at it, and you're like, this sword's really old. And you're kind of running through your, weapons marks, a really nice sword. You're pretty sure this sword is maybe a couple thousand years old. Maybe not a couple thousand, probably closer to like 1,500 years old. And you're like, he just gave
You were keeping this in your umbrella stand?
He goes, yeah, I'm not so much for swords anymore.
Hey, after tonight, maybe me neither.
Yeah. Well, he kind of chuckles and says, I understand that. Anyway, so he hands the sword to you, and you're like, wow, and it's old and nice. You're thinking maybe actually really Chinese sword made back in, the Dynasty. Yeah, so, yeah. The Love Dynasty, yeah.
My favorite
That's
one.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Wow, so much cool
we go
stuff.
Han Dynasty, but I'm not sure what year that was. So yeah, my Chinese history is a little rusty. So yeah, you kind of pile into the cab to go to the Foster family's house. Okay, all right. Pile into the cab. It's probably like an SUV cab or something like that, and you head over to the Foster family's house. When you pull up to it, it's a little shotgun house, kind of over in the Garden District, and it's nice, kind of a bluish color, 2-story, very typical shotgun house. The lights are all on. There's a police car out front, couple of them, and you pull up, hop out, and you can see a couple of uniformed cops on the front. On the front porch, and so it looks like there's at least two on the porch. They see you guys get out, and one of the guys comes down the steps and says, "Hey, we've got an active investigation going on here. I can't have you on the premises."
Hi, my name is Della Fontana. If you tell Captain Brian Johnson I'm here.
Okay, just a second. He's inside. Hold on. And so he gets up, kind of heads inside, and he comes back out, and he goes, Captain Johnson says you're okay. So come on in.
Okay.
He kind of looks a little puzzled, and so you kind of head up the stairs. And
Especially
there's-
since we're still in our ball.
yeah, right.
We
And she's
probably
got
have blood all
mascara.
over
Yeah,
We'd surely
She
have-
looks rough.
obvious,
Say what you want.
I mean, surely have
Yeah, you
blood
look good. That's right. So do you. You don't look bad at all.
Would we have blood on us? I mean, surely from killing. I mean,
Probably.
Yeah, well,
you never got hit.
I never got hit. I mean, I look
You look
great.
fine.
You have other people's blood.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
other
I have
people's
other
blood on you.
people's
Yeah, that's
blood.
right. But you
Since
look fine.
Connect blast with that way.
That's right. You're behind the wall. That's right.
Connect the
That's
other line.
right. Any blood would have gotten on the branches, so you're fine. Yeah, but yeah, you probably have other people's blood on you, and you've got mascara and the whole 9 yards. Yeah,
He's like,
and you're carrying a different sword.
what?
Yeah, Yeah.
Well, like just shoved in my belt.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Right. The little belt that goes around the dress. Yeah. So you head inside. Captain Johnson meets you at the door, and he looks at all of you and says, "What are you guys doing here?"
Hera.
Yeah, right. The daughter who's missing. What about her?
Yes. She's one of my apprentices.
You should show him the thing.
Oh, so
And this is what I got tonight at a party thrown by the Devanese.
he looks at it and he says, "There's a nose ring. I assume it's from her."
Yes.
You're pretty sure it is from
I'm
her.
pretty
Yeah.
sure it's her.
Or it's an earring. Maybe a nose ring, earring. You're not real sure. They
She had
kinda-
lots of, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He says, "Okay, so somebody's got her and is sending you a message. Do you have some enemies that might be after you?" And you're like, "God, how long do you have?" Yeah. All of them.
Got a lot of enemies.
Yes, but I don't have any.
Enemies? Yeah.
I don't have any what
Anemones?
we would call pedestrian enemies.
Pedestrian. Okay. He says, "Well, she was over at a friend's house. We headed over there, and the house is empty. Looks like it's been ransacked. Somebody attacked. We've got a crew processing it right now, seeing if we can find any clues, fingerprints, footprints, anything like that. That's why we're over here taking statements, because I don't want anybody on the crime scene.
Yeah.
Did not find Hera, so I don't know.
Well, anyway. Okay. All right.
You want me to keep you in the loop if we find
Yeah,
anything?"
keep me in the loop.
Got it. I'll definitely give you a
Uh-huh.
call if we find anything or find Hera or anything.
I'll keep trying to look for it too, but I won't interfere with your.
No. Look,
investigation.
you find anything, you let me know. We got to find this girl, especially if
Okay.
she's magically active because she's one of your apprentices.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Cool. He says,
Thank you.
Well, be careful. If somebody's after you, then this is a message, and that means they may come for you next. That could be any of you, so be careful.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want me to put police on your houses?
No.
You can
guys want
yeah.
that? No.
Absolutely not. I don't even want to be talking to the cops right now.
Yeah. You're kind of standing on the porch, going,
Yeah, Punk and I are both like,
All right.
You can send somebody around to check on BJ.
Oh, the pawn shop where you live. Got it.
Yeah,
I'll
just-
make sure that somebody's kind of out there keeping an eye
My
on him.
landlord.
And just
Yeah, he
I'm
lives.
not worried about me.
He lives in the back room, by the way, of the pawn
Uh-oh.
shop. Yeah, so he lives there.
My
Yeah.
downstairs neighbor.
Yeah, that's right.
And just a little extra tidbit for you. This may be that they're after people associated with the church as well.
Got it. I'll maybe send somebody around to check on Deacon Fontainebleau too.
Oh, I should have called him.
Well, I'll send a car around there to make sure he's all right.
What about that guy Lawrence, the bank guy?
oh yeah, we need to talk to him,
Yeah.
especially about the
Yeah.
traffic
Yeah.
situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I'm not telling Captain Henry.
Wait, what
Yeah.
happened?
The bank guy.
So yeah, now I can say,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
the bank!
I'm in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not answering that in front of the police.
Oh, right.
Oh.
All right. So.
Now you should know
You're going-
That's 22, 220 to 350, the $5 million. Yeah.
Remember,
Right.
this is the one who was
Yeah.
like paying with everything with priceless
Yeah.
gems.
So funny.
Well, let's
Alright.
cover my rent.
Oh yeah.
So, you guys are gonna head back to your respective domiciles then? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. Talk.
With the beast sense, am I able to do some kind of tracking thing or no? Probably not.
You want to go to where she was abducted?
Well, they're not
from?
going to let us in, right?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I could smell.
Well, yeah.
from
No,
out
you can't
here
smell
or
anything
something.
here. No. Uh-uh.
See any tracks around the place?
He might. What if he could?
You could go try if
Could've
you
used
want.
my Reptilian.
I mean, I could
beast
ask.
sense.
I could say, hey.
I mean, Brian
right
Johnson's
here
going
can
to say, yeah. I
smell
mean,
stuff.
yes, you're magically
Yeah.
active.
Here,
Yeah,
let's-
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so he gives you the address of the friend's house. It's like 2 blocks over. You could probably walk there faster than you get a taxi. You show up to the house. The house is a little nicer house. It's got actual porch. It's not a little shotgun house. And looks kind of like these standard houses that you find in the garden districts that are 2-story. They're really, really nice. And the door is standing wide open. Looks like it's been ripped off the hinges. Several of the windows are broken. All the lights are on. You see lots of people in these, little, look like the hazmat suits going around, and they've got, little placards with numbers on them in different places. And, they're dusting for things and shining lights on things and all these other different things to try and find clues, making casts of footprints in the dirt. You walk up. And what do you do?
I guess I'm gonna look for tracks, maybe where they ran, or see a blood trail. Maybe the nose ring was ripped out.
Right. Well, when you come walking,
How do I interact with them?
right. Well, when you come walking up to the gate, one of the guys goes, "Whoa, it's an active crime scene. I really can't let you in here, sir."
FBI, Tom Petty.
Do you have an FBI? I let you make a deceit check.
No,
You sure?
First off, I don't have deceits. I don't
Young
have
kid,
that
they don't
prepared.
even know who Tom Petty
Another guy.
is either.
Well, probably what you can do is take a sniff of the air
That
and
was
see if
great.
you smell anything odd. So, do you want to make a?
Look, okay, if I get caught
Whoa,
impersonating an
you-
FBI agent, I'm gonna have a lot of issues.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna be in
Whoa,
trouble.
we have an active crime scene here. Can't let you in. I'm good.
What the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? You can make an alertness check. Yeah, sure.
Or okay, yeah. Oof. I just got a 1.
You smell lots of humans, but you don't smell anything else.
Too many.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the problem. The humans are really masking everything.
I lean over down and say, we're good. Got nothing.
Can I sense magical
Woodgems?
residual magic?
Open
Is that a thing? I'm just making sure there's something. Yeah. So
That's how you do it. Unless you want to do a spell.
nope. I'm gonna open my eye again.
Okay. Make me a lore check.
But I'm gonna peek. No, just kidding.
Open is open. Or it's not open. Alright. What's your lore?
3.
Okay. You look around, you don't see any magic or residual
Oh wait,
magic.
no. Yeah, 3.
And one thing you do notice about this house is you can see that there's kind of a threshold. It's got this kind of warm glow from it. There's a family lived here. And it looked like it was
So that had to be somebody strong enough to destroy the threshold,
or something.
or someone let them in.
Right,
Probably
right,
let
or
them
it
in.
wasn't magic.
Yeah.
Either that, or
Oh,
was
that's true.
normal human with guns will do
That's true.
any threshold. Guns don't care about thresholds.
Does it look
That's
like
right.
there are guns or bullet holes, or does it just look like
You
stuff
can't
is ripped
tell.
off?
I mean, these guys are not going to talk to you about it, really.
No, yeah, I wasn't.
Okay, make me a
asking.
discipline check so you can close your eye. It's not real strong. What'd you get?
No.
Oh, dear Lord. What'd you get?
2.
That's enough.
Oh.
No, again, this is a residential area where
Okay.
lots of families lived. It's not a real terribly intense area. I mean, New Orleans is intense because it's old, but this isn't.
Yeah.
This is,
Okay.
kind of nice area. You close your eye and don't really see anything under. Again, the thing that the real sense you get is that this is a nice place where a family lives. They've raised children here. Lots of generations have raised families here. It's got kind of pleasant, You get the warm fuzzies.
Well,
So
it's time to.
okay, everybody starts heading off to their
Yeah.
respective place. Gabriel tells you you're staying at his place tonight.
Oh.
He'll
okay.
make up the guest bedroom. Yeah, so you guys head off to bed for the night. Gabriel gets a taxi, brings you up there, takes you up the stairs, and there's a nice bedroom with chest of drawers and a really big feather bed. And he says, "This is yours. You're welcome to stay here as long as you want, or as short a time as you want. If you need anything, let me know." And he says, "Place is yours. There's a ensuite bathroom right there, and I'm gonna head to bed. So just let me know." And so he heads off down the hallway. Door opens and closes. Yeah.
I'll spend a little time just sort of like looking at the sword and taking it out of the scabbard. Has a scabbard? Has a
A wooden scabbard, in fact. It's
Okay,
wooden. Yeah, it's really nice.
just kind of looking at it a little bit, and then I'll lay it up on like the other side of the bed. I'll lay
Yeah.
in the bed for a little while and just be like, "No ghosts."
Actually, this bedroom, you don't get a lot of ghostly feeling. It doesn't have any cold spots,
Goodness, I can see her.
Yeah. Well, you remember the reason why the house was given to Gabriel Beaumont was because he keeps the ghosts calm. That's right. That's what he does. Yeah.
I open my phone, like start to send a bunch of emojis, realize everybody's probably asleep, backspace.
Would say never stop.
Put it up. Normally it wouldn't. Pass out eventually.
Okay. You sleep pretty well. A few dreams about swords breaking and shattered glasses and things like that. In the morning, you kind of, your eyes, sunlight hits you from one of the windows, and you kind of, your eye creeps open. You realize you still got your mascara and your dress on and all other stuff.
Hungover.
Yeah, well, you're probably not that hungover, honestly. And you see somebody standing at the foot of the bed, and it's a little boy. And he sees you, and he takes off at a run. He's probably like 8 years old, maybe.
Through a wall or out
No,
the door?
out the door, out the door.
Okay.
Takes off on a run, runs out the door, opens the door, closes it,
Right
and
Out the door, shut. Just goes right
What
through
did
the
he
door.
look like?
African
fast
American,
to see?
kind of, dark hair, dark eyes, kind of medium brownish skin.
You said about 8?
Yeah, about 8. He was young. I mean,
Okay.
out the door he goes. A couple minutes later, Gabriel Beaumont comes walking in, and he's got a pair of jeans on and a t-shirt. And it's an Aerosmith t-shirt. And he comes walking in, which is a little weird seeing him in an Aerosmith t-shirt,
Yeah,
because
he's
you used to
wearing
see
a
him in a
patch
tie and a
jacket
coat
last
and stuff
night.
like that. He's always dressed very nicely. And he goes, "Hey, coffee?
Please.
Cool. Go on downstairs. I'll make some." So he heads downstairs, and you hear the coffee pot start to cycle.
Attempt to wash my face
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, well, you can. Actually, the bathroom has cold cream. It has soap, shampoo. You can get a shower if you want, even.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get showered up. You notice that in the closet there's like some sweatpants. They look like they probably will fit and they won't be terrible.
Work.
Yeah. You drag those on. They're kind of like this kind of pastel blue color. You head downstairs. Gabriel
Pretty
Beaumont's
fresh.
got some coffee on the table. He's got some eggs on the table. They're scrambled, and some bacon. And he goes, "Eat up, eat up. We got a busy day ahead of us."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I need your help
I'm
with something. So, and it's pretty important. And so, you eat
I'm
up.
like ravenous about the eggs.
Yeah, he has some eggs and some bacon too, and drinks some of the coffee. And he says, "Yeah, let me grab the car." And so he heads out. Meet me out front, and he kind of heads out through one of the little side doors, and you kind of head out front, and the door beside, there's a kind of a garage door beside the door, kind of rolls up, and out rolls this Range Rover. And actually the steering wheel's on the wrong side, so it's a real Range Rover, from the UK. And he says, "Yeah, we need to head down into the Garden District real quick. There's something I need to get. I had a kind of a revelation last night about what needs to happen."
Okay.
And so he you open the door, pile inside, and he takes off down into the Garden District. You head down to the part of the Garden District. A lot of it has not been rebuilt yet, because Katrina's kind of wiped out a lot of the houses. There's a lot of houses that are broken and derelict. And you head towards what looks like this really old church. But it's not a church anymore. It's kind of red. It's got white walls. Looks like 2 or 3 stories, windows, and you notice that there's like a playground in front of it. It's reasonably new-looking playground with kind of like AstroTurf for kids to play on, and there's kids playing in it. You also notice that there's lots of pickup trucks out there, and it looks like the building itself is still being worked on. There's no stained glass windows. Some of the windows just have wood in them. And he pulls in, parks, and says, "Come on." And so he hops out, heads up to the door. And the door's open. He goes inside. There's lots of dust and cement dust and stuff like that. And you can hear saws going and stuff like that. Some of the pews are lined up against the wall, kind of stacked up against the wall. And he walks up to this gentleman. He's kind of got sandy hair, a little heavy set, wearing a plaid shirt. And he looks like he's maybe in his 40s, maybe 50s, you're not real sure. And he walks up, and Gabriel walks up and says, "Brendan, how are you?" And then Van says, "Oh, I'm doing well. Looks like the renovations are coming along pretty well, but we still don't have enough money for the stained glass windows, really." And he says, and so Gabriel says, "Well, how much do you need? I can talk to Deacon Fontainebleau." And he says, "Well, stained glass windows, so expensive. We may just go with something cheaper, especially since we're not going to be a church anymore." And Gabriel says, "Well, yeah, but you're going to be a community center. We want it to look nice. We want to remind them that this was a church." And he says, $40,000 and probably put really beautiful stained glass windows in, but I'm just not sure if that's what we really need to do." And he says, "Well, look," Gabriel Beaumont says, "Well, look, you do have the key to the reliquary down below, right?" And he says, of course. "Do you need to get down there?" And Gabriel says, yeah, I have a friend who I need to get something for. And he says, oh, that's by your friend. And he puts his hand and he says, Brendan O'Leary. And he says, oh, nice to meet you. And you would
Miranda.
be... Miranda.
Gagnon.
Oh, I've heard about you. You're the one who's the Knight of the Cross in New Orleans. Yeah. Running with Knights of the Cross, you've come up in the world since hanging out with us Irish contractors. And he's kind of says, Gabriel says, well, I run with all kinds. He says, well, yeah, sometimes not the most, good kinds. I remember when we had that business a few years back, and Gabriel goes, and so
let's talk about the business.
And so Brendan goes, mum's the word, right? Here's the key. Remember, you know where it is. So it looks like this old church is being renovated and turned into something else. And as you start kind of walking down the main area of the church where there's no pews anymore, Gabriel looks at it and says, well, there's just not much of an Irish... There's not really enough Irish people living in this area anymore to really warrant having an Irish Catholic church anymore. Besides, everybody wants to go to St. Louis Cathedral, he says. So we're turning it into a community center. We're going to have classes here and things like that. But the reliquary is still there, and I've still got something down there that I need to recover real quick. He says, I'll be right back.
It's a nice project.
And so he walks up to the reliquary, and he kind of opens the door. He says, wait here. Opens the door with this really old key, and the door doesn't move, and he says, it always sticks, and he kind of puts his shoulder against it and pushes it, and dust comes flying out, and he says, I'll be right back. So he kind of walks into the reliquary, and what you can tell is it doesn't even go downstairs. It looks like it just kind of goes under this raised part of the altar, and he disappears back in there, and kind of hearing, light comes on, looks like he's using his cell phone for a flashlight. 15 minutes or so goes by. Brendan's got, over there talking to the guys. Well, no, make sure you measure that twice and cut once. And they're doing lots of stuff to try and fix this. And Gabriel comes out, and he's got this package. It's about, this long. And it looks like something wrapped in a cloth. And he says, come on, we'll head out to the Range Rover, and I'll tell you what's going on. And so you walk out to the Range Rover, and he hops in, and you probably get in on the other side, yeah? Mm-hmm. And he unwraps this package, and inside is what looks like a spearhead. And it's kind of a simple metal spear with kind of a crossbar on it. And he reaches into the back of the Range Rover, and there's this wooden shaft about this long, and it's threaded. And so he reaches over and he starts threading this thing onto it, and it looks like there's this metal thread on there, and he hand looks at it, and he finishes kind of spinning it up, and he goes, this is for you. It used to be mine.
What is it?
Well, you've probably heard about it through the years. It was called the Spear of Destiny. It was called the Guy Assail. In Irish, folklore, it was the Guy Bowls wielded by Cuchulainn. He says, but its first name was the Longinus Lance, and it was wielded by the Roman soldier who pierced the side of Christ. He says, now it's not mine. It was given to me by a very close friend. And so I kept it for him. And since you've lost your sword, sometimes a spear is even better. And so he says, it's yours. And he kind of shoves it into the back seat a little bit because, there's really not a whole lot of place to hold it in the front seat. And he says, but I want you to take it because I think you're going to need it. And the reason I never drew a Moroclus was because I didn't need to. I had this. And so he says, come on, I'll get you back to your place.
Amanda is just silent crying.
Yeah, right. And he says, I'll get you back to BJ's. So he starts the car, begins to pull forward, and all of a sudden you hear tink in the front windshield, and the right side of Gabriel Beaumont's head explodes. No. Okay? What? And he leans back, and there's just blood and brain matter everywhere. And then, this is the weird part, he turns toward, half his brain is gone. He's dead. And he turns towards you and says, with what's left of his mouth. Take the spear. I'll get better. And he leans back like that.
Yeah.
And it's 8:40. We're gonna stop there for the night because that's a great cliffhanger.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.